So hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This week another interview with a good friend of mine who I feel does deserve a little bit more publicity for the great work he does. Daniel Jones. I can see him giggling and smiling in the other screen. I'm sure he's fully recovered after his endeavours. But those from the microlight world, this might be an interesting interview for you to listen to, as what the paramotor guys get up to and what the capabilities of the paramotors can give the pilot, the freedom and the adventure side of it. So Daniel, clearly we know each other from old. We've met, if people don't know, you've kind of snuck into a few of my videos over the last coming months. But paramotoring is clearly a passion for you. There must have been a point where you went, I want to try that. How do I do it? What was that point for you?
Oh, there definitely was. And I think I came from the group of pilots that discovered paramotoring through Tucker Gott. Whether you love him or hate him, he's done amazing things to bring people into the sport. And then not long after that, I actually saw one of the local pilots to me flying over the top of the house. And it was like, I've got to do that. Like, I've got to save my money and do that. I actually fly with that guy today. And it's pretty cool, actually, to go from being on the ground to actually being aloft, as it were. So yes.
Who was the guy you actually spotted and eventually met in the future?
So that was David Keeble. So I don't think he lives too far from me, actually, but we fly over at Wingland quite a lot with a lot of the other guys as well. So.
Now you had a slightly. We've had lots of chats offline. Loads of phone calls, loads of banter about how you actually eventually come to the pinnacle pilot that you are today. You had a slightly different entry into paramotoring. Did you actually decided to build your own paramotor and go down the kind of I can do it myself route, didn't you? Do you want to allude to a little bit more about how you have actually started your career in paramotoring?
Was
there a big sigh there, was there?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So it's a long-winded process of me actually getting to the point where I could actually fly. So money is like always going to be an issue when you're getting into aviation, because it's not like a cheap hobby, is it really? So I was looking around for what deals I could get, and a friend of mine had a wing, so we were training on that. And then I spotted a deal of a paramotor that was 300 quid, I think it was at the time. And me and my brother were like, right, we'll go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
And we did, and the guy was like, yeah.
Are you blaming Mark for this, are you?
Well, not really, no, because I found it, so I was the ringleader, really. And we looked at it, and we were like, yeah, that looks like an engine that would fly. Yeah, why not? Because, we didn't have any knowledge at the time. Got it back and went through a whole thing of like stripping the engine down and cleaning up, and it was a old Solo 210. So for the older pilots amongst us, they'll probably remember that engine quite well. Yeah. Got it running, redid all the cage, sprayed all that up, and then it just had a series of problems. Things like melting like pulleys and stuff when you pull start, decompression ports being clogged up and stuff, which we fixed, and then the final straw was the exhaust sheared off in the end. And I kept taking it to Wingland and stuff, and I was getting ready to fly on a day, and it just wasn't starting. It was just causing you more problems than what you really want when you're learning to fly. So yeah, quite the headache. I've still got it. It's still in the garage.
Give it to a museum. I'm sure there's a paramotor museum somewhere.
Yeah. It got to the point where I just couldn't bear to not fly and waste another year again. So I spoke to Chili, my instructor, and I said, what is there available? What can I buy? And he came back with, here's this paramotor. What do you think? And it was the Bulldog, and I said, yep, if you think it's great. And it was at Clive Bunce's shop, so it had all been checked over and stuff. And it never gave me any problems than that. And I was flying from the moment I got it. I took my first flight on the same day I got it, and haven't looked back since, really. So.
So you're not just what I would call a general part. You're a vlogger, you're a blogger, you're a professional photographer and videographer, all of the above. So your video quality sets all us other people down low, you're vastly up there in terms of your quality. So a nice little plug for your channel. For those that haven't actually seen Dan's channel, I will leave a link in the description. There's some fantastic content in there. I'm going to mention his channel again in a minute with the follow-on questions. You mentioned about winglands and Chile. So yeah, I think I met Chile in 2014 at the British Paramotor Open. So again, we'll come back to that in a minute. But you started to get into more XC flying because part of the BHPA syllabus is a cross-country flight, and you vlogged your cross-country flight, didn't you? What made you go down? And a lot of your follow-on videos were all just long flights and come with me, I'm going to find this place. What made you start going down the cross-country route?
I think a lot of pilots quite enjoy cross-country, or at least they enjoy the sightseeing side of things, which is so beautiful about Paramotoring. You've got an unadulterated cockpit. You've just got such a wide view. You can sling a camera over your neck and get some really great photos. And I think I just really wanted to push what was possible for like my flying in terms of length, or like, you know, duration and stuff like that. And to date, my longest flight is 4 hours and 20 minutes, which is quite a long time in the sea.
That's bladderbuster territory, isn't it?
Yeah. That was at the championships, but we will talk about that in a minute. And yeah, I think I just wanted to see what I could see, really. I just quite enjoyed going out for a long flight, and it sort of developed from there into the championship stuff as well. So
at that time, that's where we actually sort of got in touch with each other, really, wasn't it? And a sort of a few pointers on where to go. You then started looking at the UK Paramotor Championships, didn't you? What did you do to prepare for that? What made you go, do you know what? I've been flying less than a year. I'm going to go and do the champs. What was that moment we went, I just need to do it?
Do you know what? It was a bit of a strange one because I never really thought about competition flying to begin with. And then they released for the BHPA club pilot class. So it was like literally an introduction to competitions. And I think it was the right place at the right time, which has seemingly been a lot of my situations. In the fact that, you know, why wouldn't I want to go and try this new thing? And I'm in the mindset of like, I want to learn all the different aspects of flying. I want to push and see which bits I like and which bits I don't like. But it was basically like, come along to this event and improve your skills. And I think it was to try and build up the community again in the competition scene, because to me it seemed like it was quite an elite situation, but it's so far from the truth. Everyone's so friendly and it's just a really nice environment to be in. And yeah, I came away from it like pretty addicted. To get ready for that sort of thing, obviously I trained with Mike Chilvers, who was the World Championship task director. I think it was 2016, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. It was in Popham. So he had like the back knowledge that he was sort of feeding me, and I was like getting really into it, and I built a map board, got all the figures worked out for my wing, but which we actually kind of did there at the event. But it was just, it was a really nice setup that I was in the right place. I had the right trainer who knew about it in the past and still does stuff with the competition scene and stuff. So yeah, it was right place, right time, and I love competitions now. Yeah,
I did a previous interview with a guy talking about the MicroAvionics Championships, and they've done a similar thing, and they're trying to get people to get away from this elite level. I have to be god level flying to compete or enter. And I think what I'm taking away from your answer there is, and I know this from my paramotoring, is that paramotoring isn't just left string, right string, and you've got a throttle. It's about finesse. It's about trusting your kit, knowing your kit. And then actually that's the easy bit. Competing is knowing how to apply it to get yourself where you need to be, to get the picture, to get the turn point, to not run out of fuel. If you haven't already been to Dan's channel, there's some really interesting videos of him vlogging live during the comps, and your engine was playing up, wasn't it, at some point? You got back, but you needed to reinvigorate your carburetor at some point, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a quick tweak. Actually, it was I think the problem was I was on the Polini Thor 100, I believe it was,
Yeah.
for the comps, and then like 7 days before I went to the comps, I then actually changed that to an Atom 80. So
You were still
it
in
only
break-in
had
mode,
like
weren't you?
5 hours. Yeah. So it sort of leaned itself out during one of the flights, and yeah, had an engine out. Managed to get it restarted and back and stuff, but it was fine after that. Just tweaked the carb and then yeah, back on it again. So. But it makes you a better pilot, you know. You have to deal with the situation. It's these little things that just build up and build up and build up over like the years.
But in other chats, you have got other aspirations, and you are a little bit of what I would call an adventurist. And say, if I haven't plugged your charity event enough, this crazy man flew from Land's End to John O'Groats, or John O'Groats to Land's End. Sorry, the other way around. You did it backwards, didn't you?
Downhill, yeah.
Downhill.
Yeah.
But what other aspirations have you got, and what do you want to do? You know, you've done that one. You're only as good as your last event-ish. I say that in jest. But, you said, "Oh, I've done that now. Park that one. Chalk it up on the board. What's next?"
I've still got the video to cover that, so yeah, that's in the pipeline. But in terms of flying, I'm actually in the planning for trying to beat at least the UK altitude record. And Giles, for people out there who don't know, you are helping me out on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, like, really where to start hugely with it. I mean, I know a few things about it, but definitely I'm going to be coming to you for the knowledge for some of that stuff. And actually today received my radio telephony license, so I can talk to air traffic control when I'm on the way up. So yeah,
and on the way down, you need to talk to them both.
Yeah,
ways.
and on the way down, hopefully. But it's like one of the tick boxes to get done. But I'm sure you're gonna lend a lot of help and knowledge for like oxygen and you know the procedures I'll need to go through, and I'm getting the right motor and wing combination is going to be another challenge again. You know, it's not like going cross country where you're looking at fuel burn per like kilometer. It's like how much climb can you get out of what you've got on your back. And
everything's a balance. So so if anyone on the micro world hasn't clicked, I currently hold the UK altitude record. And Dan's going to try and break it, so he'll have to go close to 22,000 feet to break my record. And I actively encourage it. It stood for too long. No one's attempted it since I've done it. It stood for too long, and more people should try and attempt it. But it's not as easy as everyone thinks. But that will be another chat in helping Dan plan for it, because it took me over a year to plan for one 3-hour flight. So, but we'll leave that one down for another video, because that'll be. I don't think we've got enough time on my account for that chat. So clearly, that is one aspiration, and I actively encourage you, go for it, because I will never do it again. And it was an amazing experience to be that high in silence. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, looking forward to it, Giles. And if it goes well, and we've still got a bit of fuel in the tank, why not try for the world record? You know, that's stood for Ramon's had it for 2009, I think his record was
we need to go outside of the UK for that one. So from your channel, sorry I keep plugging it, but I did enjoy following your journey, and then it was a bit weird actually meeting you and going, oh, you're the crazy guy behind your channel as well. You did enjoy vlogging your championships, and so if anyone hasn't realised that there is so much information in Dan's videos, all the little details are there, and I think you've got so much content you want to make in the next 12 months. I think there's just not enough hours in the day, is there? Especially at the standard you take weeks to make videos, don't you?
Yeah, I need to tune that down a little bit. Yeah, but I think if anyone's looking to make videos, it's the story that you can tell or the information you can provide is king. That's really king. Yeah.
So, what preparations will you be doing this year? Because you had the club pilot version before with the old Discovery group, and then you got your pilot rating, which meant you could go into the open class, and you competed in the open class again, didn't you? What preparations will you be doing for this year's? When and where is it again?
So this year's championship is at Wingland again. So that's very helpful for me because it's a local site, and you're navigating by dikes and small rivers rather than like mountains and big objects, which I think a lot of the other pilots are used to. So that's a benefit for me. I think literally since I've done the club pilot class, I've just been like at least 90% of my flights have been training for the championship stuff, really, because what let me down last year in the championship, I came third actually. What let me down was my precision. Yeah, thank you. Was the precision. So spot landings and skittle landings, I was probably about 50% on those, when really I need to be up like 80 to 90% accuracy and getting them good. So that's what I'll be focusing on. But I also want to get more people involved. You know, like that's what it's all about. And I've already started looking into printing last year's training maps. I'm going to build some extra map boards and stuff. I've got enough stuff to make about 5 spare map boards. And whoever wants to come to England and have a go at the tasks, I'm quite happy to talk you through how to plan them and execute them. And then anyone can have a go, really.
I think you're talking yourself into some good videos here.
Yeah,
you need a full studio team to help make your videos.
If anyone wants to come and help, like, I'm more than happy to entertain them. You know.
If only I didn't have a day job, mate. If I never didn't have a day job. I genuinely take my hat off to you, because the planning you put in and the support of your father in doing your last charity event, and I think you got close to the 15 grand, wasn't it? Yeah.
Actually, it's it's like, I think it's just 200 quid short, I think. So we recently had another donation, which was from the Wingland flying event, which happened late last year. So that's gone through, and
we'll round it up. Grand. So nearly 15 grand, nice easy figure there. And apart from trying to break my altitude record, do it. I'll help you all the way. What aspirations have you got for the future? You know, you've already mentioned about the champs. You've got a lot of planning to do for the altitude side of things. Is there any other plans on Dan's horizon for the next 12 or 18 months? Because, you know, now you've done your radio license, that frees up a little bit more time, doesn't it?
There's a lot of little things I'm working on at the moment. So there's nothing really massive in particular. In April, there is the World Championships, which I'm hoping to go to in Brazil. So, yeah, getting kit shipped out there is going to be another challenge. So there's that. Also, like you said, I've got the radio telephony license now, so I can fly through a bit more airspace. And I'm hoping to push more FAI triangles and get a lot more cross-country in that way. And then, like I said earlier, just trying to get people involved with the competition stuff. Whether they compete in the end or not is entirely up to them. It's just about letting them have a go and giving them the opportunity to try that without having to commit loads and loads of time. I'm just going to try and make it as easy as possible for them to have a go. So, yeah, helping out.
It sounds like you're going to spend more time in the air than on the ground, which is generally the way you try and fly anyway, isn't it? From seeing your flights on trackers and things, it's like, yeah, Dan's up again. Lucky so-and-so. So Dan, thank you very much for giving up your evening to come and natter to me about your aspirations and other bits and pieces. The challenges you've set yourself for this year mean that I think you're going to spend more time in the air than on the ground. The main point is that you are challenging yourself and making yourself such a better pilot that I think you're going to blast this year's comps. Rick Wormsley, watch out, Dan's on your tail.
I'm coming for number 1, mate.
Number 1. So no, that's good. And if you haven't seen Dan's channel, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Go and give him a subscription, because he does make some really, really good content. I'm very jealous of his editing skills. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I say until next time, everybody, fly safe.